Hello and welcome to week 3 of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown. Today we might have an interesting final ahead of us. We have two completely new teams competing for the title in a best of 3 on Lotus, Haven, and bind. Um, we have EXO IND, Drago on Neon, Snicks on Fade, ZF on Vice, Maddie on Breach, and Shadow looking to play Omen. And on Air Strikers, we have HJ on Neon, Impulse on Cypher, Gods XR on Omen, Rintaro on Fade, and we have a Breach. So, for the first time in 3 weeks, we have two completely new teams competing in the finals. The last 2 weeks have been pretty one sided, as if we all know, India's last hope won week 1 and week 2 in a dominant fashion against Mindbenders. Alright, agents are logged in. Lotus is going to start soon. Let's see if we finally get 3 maps in today's match, or is gonna be as one-sided as the last 2 matches that we've seen. Both comps are almost similar except the Sentinels. Airstrikers have opted for a cipher to lock down their sites with the trips, and EXO IND is looking to play Vice as a Sentinel, taking care of the backstab with a wall. EXO starts Lotus on defending, and Airstrikers will be attacking on map 1. Alright, looks like we have a player AFK. So we're starting the match with a tech pause. Maddie on EXO is not connected to the game.
we win. Launching form. Last place.
Flash out!
30 seconds left.
Doors activated.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling. Blinding.
10 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Irrelevant. One enemy remaining.
You see an insect, you crush it.
It's over. Gotta go.
Shadows traveling. Forever! Out to charge. Gun here.
30 seconds left. This way! I'm out of here! One enemy remaining. Last player standing. Thirsty! Go, go, go!
Alright, the score is 1-1. EXO won the pistol but got echoed instantly after on the second round by airstrikers.
Go, go, go! Gotta go!
We have another tech pause
I'm out of here.
because it seems like Maddie is disconnected yet again.
Gotta go! I'm out of here. Go, go, go! I'm out of here. Gotta go! Gotta go! Go, go, go! Go, go, go!
Alright, we live ahead of the third round.
I'm out of here.
Tech pause has ended and airstrikers have a full buy going into the third round, pushing EXO onto an eco with their slow eco round after losing the pistol. It seems like they're trying to sell an A push. Impulse has taken up the lurk in front of A but fails to spot anybody. Timings and timings. While on the other hand, they are not trying to push C yet. They have to take care of the vice wall by ZF, who's playing an off angle. HJ has walked in and right into the trap set by ZF. Flash pushes off Rintaro from entering the site. Spike is still outside of C. They were never trying to commit. God's XR on a lurk outside of B. Is Maddie gonna push too far? C
30
on the
seconds
other
left.
hand, Rintaro is also gonna try walking. A breach stun to probably catch ZF. Little bit of a whiff, but Rintaro takes care of ZF, gets a free site with vice
Spike
down,
planted.
nothing to lock the site down, and it's an eco 4-man retake on the side of EXO. They're trying to pinch the team, everybody's stuck inside. Impulse gets 1, Snicks gets 2 with his, Drogo gets 1. Trades out everywhere and it seems like EXO on the defending side have managed yet another C retake.
Thrifty.
Thrifties back to back
I'm out of here.
and the score is now 2-1.
Gotta go.
EXO IND ahead at 3 rounds. Their fakes and their executes onto C have managed to get airstrikers a plant down easily, but they are not able to hold the side down. A brawl outside of rubble, Neon versus Neon, and Maddie gives cover to HJ. Maddie gives cover to Drago, I'm sorry, taking down HJ. And the breach also goes down in the fight. They're holding on Rintaro Gets a kill onto Maddie. It's a 3v4 right now. Impulse is trying to take out and managed to get a shot onto Drago, but wasn't enough. Gets instantly taken out by Snicks, and Drago cleans up the round with a double kill at the end. Score is 3-1. EXO IND might have lost Thrifty after winning the pistol, but since then they have seemed comfortable with fabulous retakes, and this time controlling rubble extremely well. A bit of an aggression outside of C, taking space. Rintaro takes out Shadow. They have the B side, but the flank is coming instantly. ZF takes down Rintaro. Impulse takes down both flankers. The spike is down at B.
One enemy remaining.
Players are playing outside a site. HD takes down ZF on spawn. Snicks is the only player remaining on EXO in a 1v4 retake, and it seems like he is going to save his Vantal. And that is the second round for Air Strikers. This time, a great execute onto B, taking Impulse, taking care of the flanks, and they also will not let EXO save the last weapon, as HJ takes down Snicks at the very last second before the bomb can go off. Alright. Probably one of the first rounds where both teams have a sufficient buy. It's the 6th round, and it seems like HJ has pushed out for another double control. Takes down Drogo, takes down Maddie and Snicks for a beautiful 3k, clearing out the site single-handedly in an aggressive fashion with beautiful utility from his teammates. The spike is now down on A with only 2 players remaining, ZF and Shadow to retake. ZF gets HJ. It's a 2v4 retake now, but Impulse takes down ZX and Impulse takes down Shadow. A 2k to clean it up and confirm the round. The score is equal 3-3. And it seems like Air Strikers have finally found their attacking momentum. They've been able to successfully take space outside of B and A the last 2 rounds, get the spike down and hold the site comfortably. What does EXO have in store now after losing 2 consecutive rounds? HJ is gearing up for a C push again, with ZF the only defender on his side, only Sheriff in his hands. Impulse on the lurk.
Wall tripped.
Ball tripped. You got really close for a second. ZF was in a scary position, but no shots exchanged so far. Stun out from Maddie. Shots exchange outside C, and HJ takes down ZF. Rotation coming over to C. Impulse on the lurk. Almost managed to get Snicks. He does get Snicks, traded out by Shadow, but air strikers have already made their way onto A. A free site with just Drago and a Sheriff. HJ pushing drop,
30 seconds left.
shots exchange, stuns exchange,
Spike
both
planted.
Neon stunned right now. Shadow takes down HJ, Drago takes out Breach before being traded out by Rintaro. Ult comes out from Rintaro in a 2v2 retake. Maddie and Shadow have to get this round.
One enemy remaining.
Maddie gets God's XR outside of the site, ult online, and
Last player
Rintaro,
standing.
even dazed, gets Maddie. Spike halved, Shadow does not leave it to chance, has enough time to defuse the spike, and yet another thrifty in our game. A 1v1 right down to the end, Rintaro versus Shadow. And Shadow clutches the round to send EXO IND in the lead 4-3. This is clearly a much more competitive and interesting match than we have seen in the last 2 weeks. Both teams are giving each other a run for the money. And so far, it seems like at the start of the 8th round, IND is going to leave the site completely empty for the taking. The wall has been tripped by HA,
Go, go, go.
but ZF is only going to watch as they probably plan to hit for a retake. They have 4 ults, a Fade ult and a Vice ult. But air strikers have not yet planted. They're baiting util. 2 ults have already been used. Maddie manages to get one right outside HJ, and HJ goes down.
Spike down.
Spike is down at spawn. Impulse and God's X are the only 2 players alive.
Last player standing.
Impulse goes down to ZF, and ZF also takes down God's XR. Maybe air strikers were aware of all the ults that XOIND had, and they wanted to bait a couple of them out before they could get the plant down. But in the aggression, they fell right into the trap set by XOIND, who get yet another round without the spike going down. Almost a half buy on air strikers. 2 players do not have full weapons, and they're planning to hit B this time. Rubble control
There.
with EXO, but no player outside. Shadow spots players, stays, smokes out, and through the spam gets Impulse, the first blood from EXO, and their Cypher on air strikers is down. God's XR lurking a bit outside C. Rotation has been called from air strikers. They're not planning to hit B anymore and looking to go over to A, where EXO already had aggressive positions, but Drago could not convert that by getting kills, leaving Snicks as the only person on A side. Rotation coming out, Maddie's already there.
30 seconds left.
Fade ult goes down outside of tree, but cannot convert that into kills as HJ gets a kill and stuns Maddie to convert it into his double kill, leaving Shadow and ZF in a 2v4 retake with the spike down. Seems extremely difficult.
Cover going out.
2 players outside the
Player
side.
standing.
HJ takes Shadow in a 1v4 retake. ZF is left alone. and goes down to Breach before he can take any player down. As Strikers lose just one person in a half buy and convert that half buy into a successful round win with the score before the 10th round 5-4. Looks like an A push in the 10th round. Probably going to be a brawl as both Neons are going to exchange bullets again. A great mark fade eye from Air Strikers, pushing the defenders back, leaving only Drago on the site. Impulse gets a kill on the lurk onto Shadow, traded out by Snicks. Pressure still out A. Trades coming out. Gods XR gets 2 to clean up B site. But the spike is still not here. ZF is gonna lock down B from main. But Breach still has to carry the spike over, and they are going to
Enemy remaining.
meet each other, face off. Breach winning the duel, wants to be as far away from Drago as possible. So it seems like as Strikers are going to plant on C.
Spike drop.
30 seconds left.
Gods XR is going to take that alt orb with the plant. Rintaro and Breach are going to fight the flank, and exactly as predicted, Drago tries to flank, takes one down but gets traded instantly, and the score is now tied again 5-5. EXO has been pushed onto an eco by Air Strikers, and it seems like they have opted for a timeout. They have a minute to go back to the drawing board and see what is not working for them. These aggressive pushes outside, competing for rubble, while might be strategic, they end up losing a couple of players, and it seems like they're putting all their focus on one side or controlling one particular area, which leaves a lot of holes open in their defense. And Impulse and Gods XR have done a flawless job at lurking and capitalizing on those holes, taking out solo players, catching them off guard on site, opening up the site for a rotation. And with a Neon on the attacking team, these rotations don't take that long. Alright, time out is over. With entering the second last round of this half,
Quick feet, quick trigger.
the match is neck to neck so far. EXO on lurk, which is why HJ has opted for an outlaw. Gets one, gets two. Maddie's the only person left on site who's gonna back up and let Air Strikers take the side.
My ult's ready.
Gets the spike
Spike
down,
down A.
gets ready for the ult, but Impulse trades him out.
Found you.
Shadow and ZF are the only two players
player
alive.
standing.
Impulse takes out Shadow at Link, and ZF in a 1v4 retake takes one, takes two, and goes down to Gods XR. Not
Last
the
round
best
before the switch.
eco from EXO, managing to get 3 guns down, but Air Strikers have way too much money to buy into the last round. A full buy from both sides going into the last round of the half. Will the half end at a neck-to-neck scoreline 6-6? Or will Air Strikers finally manage to get a lead before the half? HJ in his aggressive fashion has tried to take mount control. Two players on C this time with all the vice utility. HJ is afraid of the vice wall, spots Maddie, stuns Aftershock down, takes out but traded out instantly by Shadow. Impulse gets one on the lurk with a Cypher ult. They have a free B side and they have rotated instantly. It's a 3v4 game right now. Air Strikers have the numbers advantage. Snicks goes down to Rintaro. Impulse goes down to Shadow. Instant
Last
trade.
player standing.
Shadow, the only person alive in a 1v3 situation against Air Strikers with the spike down. Drago tried to use the Neon ult to make the numbers equal, but Breach takes him out instantly. The ult does not get any impact and Rintaro takes down the last player with a charge, sealing the first half
Switching sides.
with an advantage, with a lead, going into the second half at a 7-5 scoreline favoring Air Strikers on Lotus. Clearly the match is extremely exciting with both teams having a lot to offer. Both teams have strategies, executes and retakes, but it seems like Air Strikers have managed to have the upper hand, capitalizing their momentum really well in a few rounds, being aware of the map, doing their due diligence and getting those crucial rounds. Alright, it seems like EXO is also pushing for C on pistol round. HJ gets one, HJ gets two. It's a brawl outside C at Mound. Drago trades out HJ. It's a 3v3 on pistol with Neon low. Shadow gets one, Shadow gets two, and Air Strikers have lost all the man advantage that they had gained with a fabulous push outside of C, an aggressive pistol push. But Impulse is now the last player remaining. As the spike goes down on C, Vice wall triggered. They know he's on flank, they know where he's coming from. Shadow and Drago are low, but will that be enough for Impulse? It does not seem like. Drago gets the headshot on Impulse and closes the gap on the lead that Air Strikers had taken. They'll have to be very careful, EXO, after this pistol on their buy, because in the last half they got instantly ecoed and they would want to avoid that and would like to level the score 7-7 ahead of the 14th round. Rubble control gained. Air Strikers not giving anything, playing their smokes. HJ gets Maddie with the Bucky. Shadow gets one but stunned out. Breach kills him. ZF comes on at a flank. And as I said, it's a brawl outside of Mount. ZF is the only player with a pistol on his hand. And he cannot do anything with the ghost. As predicted, one more buy round after the pistol, lost by EXO. Getting echoed again by the defending side. A beautiful use of utility by air strikers outside of A. The Neon getting that first kill. Shadow did manage to get a couple of trades, but air strikers had the upper hand. EXO once again with a hero vandal on ZF tries to push A. Impulse is the only person on site. Can't do a lot. Free site for air strikers. For EXO, I am sorry. Plant goes down. And the retake begins. Air strikers gets the first, ZF gets second. A little bit of whiff by Snicks.
One enemy remaining.
Rintaro takes down Shadow. Drago is the only person alive, gets marked, has a sheriff in hand, and Rintaro takes him down before a smoke could go off. Air strikers get their 9th round on the scoreboard.
Look at them. Pale and
After
sweaty.
losing the pistol,
All good signs.
instantly getting a thrifty win, and then winning out their bye round as well. It's a 6-9 scoreline. Air strikers are comfortably in the lead. They've managed to defend this A site extremely well, which is why it seems like EXO are going to have a go at C again. But it does not seem like they're going to have any luck because HJ instantly takes down their single duelist with a defending op, and the team has rotated over to A. They do not want to face that op. HJ has looked insane in this game, and they know he can do a lot with that op in his hands. Rinchero is the only person on A. Breach coming over to assist him. A lot of sound being made outside of A. 46 seconds on the clock. And it does not seem like EXO is comfortable on committing. It seems like they want to explore B as an option, but 3 players are already waiting on B
30 seconds left.
for this hit. Impulse takes down one, HJ takes down another with the op. The spike is now down in B. Shadow gets one, Rintaro is down.
Last player standing.
Impulse gets ZF, Shadow gets one more, but HJ pulls out the shotty for his 3rd kill, shutting down any hopes that EXO had of probably winning a round out.
Go, go, go!
And a second time out for EXO. They really have to figure out what is going on in their camp. They had a strong start, a 3-1 scoreline, but ever since then they have managed to win a total of only 3 rounds, whereas Air Strikers have been dominant throughout, HJ delivering a stellar performance with a 20-13 scoreline, Rintaro and Impulse backing him up. Impulse on the lurk has gotten 15 kills so far and now is doing a fantastic job at holding down the site. Trouble in the EXO camp. Shadow leading the kill count with 14 kills and rest of the members trailing behind him. Alright, as the timeout ends, do we think EXO can capitalize off of this? They have been pushed onto an eco and it's going to be difficult to take a site. and hold it down with weaker guns. HJ has given up the op. He does not want to sit and hold angles when he can farm eco kills. On the other hand, Impulse is holding down C and gets the kill onto Maddie. First blood. Stalled the push a little bit. On the other side of the map, HJ gets the kill onto ZF, and within 30 seconds of the round, EXO has been pushed onto another man disadvantage, 3v5, and they have no idea what to do at this point. They don't have the guns, they don't have the utility, and they're going back to A. Breach gets Shadow, HJ gets Nyx. Drago is the only person alive and is hunted down by HJ, who's now at 23 kills after the 17th round. 11-6, ults have finally started building up. Airstrikers have a Breach ult, Cypher ult, and HJ has his ult online on Neon. Neon ult on Drago as well.
I'll show them.
And we have a Vice ult on ZF and an Omen ult on Shadow. HJ looking on to B side. The spike is down. He's pushed out too far. Timing outside of B. He has noticed the spike, but gets taken down. Breach, ult, and followed up by the aftershock. Gets down Drogo immediately after he gets a kill. Impulse still holding on to A with that op. Gets his neural theft online. Snicks is hunting him down, and he cannot hold on to that op. It seems like EXO finally have a chance. Shadow with his ult planted this bomb on A side. It is a 2v2 retake. Breach and God's XR in a difficult position. Time running out. Smoke goes down.
Face your fear!
Fade ult from Snicks,
One enemy remaining.
but does not clear his corner. Shadow takes down God's XR, but there is not enough time for Breeze to defuse. EXO finally find a footing and get
I need
a round win. The score is now 7-11. Airstrikers only need 2 more rounds to close out the map. Will they manage to defend for 2 more rounds? Or does EXO have a little bit more fight left in them? Battle of the Neons. HJ versus Drago. And so far HJ has come out on top. They managed to rush into C, take the site, get the spike down. Players traded. Maddie takes down Impulse. Rintaro also goes down. Oh, I'm sorry, Snicks also goes down. Rintaro gets a kill onto ZF on Lurk. HJ
One enemy remaining.
with the spike misses onto Shadow. Shadow is the only player alive. Gets the spam onto God's XR. A 1v1 against Breach. Time is running out, and Breach gets the defuse, the ninja defuse inside the smoke
Match point.
to get Airstrikers to match point. It got very interesting there right at the end. EXO had a shot. Shadow got two beautiful kills right there at the end, leading his team with valiant effort. But he could not get breach down in time to stop the defuse from happening, and it seems like EXO are gearing up for yet another C push.
I go.
Cypher Cam gets taken out. Impulse and Rintaro have left the site empty. Impulse will be holding on to probably get a few kills off of his trips. EXO have to be extremely careful. They do not have a strong buy, and it is a match point. A round loss could mean a map loss. Fight outside of A. HJ receives a few tags from ZF. Has the op
Bring me the arsenal.
and instantly gets ulted. HJ avoids the ult, takes down Drago. Yet another neon ult that Drago
30
has
seconds left.
failed to get any impact on. Snyx tries to get some value out of that stinger after the spike is down, but it doesn't seem like he's going to get a lot. Bullets being exchanged, Shadow goes down.
Last player standing.
God's XR gets the final 2 kills to bring his kills to 7, close out the map,
Defenders win.
defuse the spike. A 7-13 scoreline as strikers have clearly managed to capitalize on their momentum that they gained in the second half. A fabulous defending job out of the team, pushing EXO to win Lotus. And we will be right back with Haven in our second map. Alright, we're back with our second map, Haven, and EXO has already logged in their team. Drago playing Yoru, Snicks playing Sova, Shadow on ISO, ZF on Cypher, and Maddie on Omen. We also see an Omen logged in by as strikers. HJ has moved on to Phoenix. Impulse will be playing the Yoru. Gods XR playing a Jet, and Rintaro locking Sova. So a triple duelist comp coming out of as strikers. It is going to be an interesting Haven game. Very fast pace as strikers are starting off the map on the attacking side. EXO to defend once again. And as strikers will be trying to get their second map win and seal the deal 2-0, winning our third week of FSN x Lidoma Valorant Showdown. And EXO will try to win the second map, pushing this game to a third map and try to get a shot at that title, a shot at winning the grand finals. And it seems like Drago has pushed up a long. God's XR. HJ in garage. Players all over the map right now. Maddie takes a couple of shots outside garage, but Drago going down on a long. God's XR receiving tags by Snicks. ZF catches HJ onto the lurk, but the push is coming out fast. Shadow gets one, Snicks get another. Shadow gets one more. Maddie closes the pistol out for EXO. Yet another pistol win for EXO. Locking down A side, stopping any lurks from HJ onto B. And although the push onto A from airstrikers was fast enough, EXO was clearly prepared for the same.
Cutting through.
Winning the pistol, but will they be able to win that buy round as well? A fast push into B. Site is empty. Spike going down, pushing out C-Link. Maddie spamming into the smoke. ZF going down. Maddie gets one. God's XR takes down Maddie. And now the retake coming in with a man disadvantage. EXO is supposed to retake a 3v4. Players flooding on from B. But it seems like Rintaro is flanking. Shadow missing a bunch of his shots. Managed to get God XR, but cannot do enough for the retake. And it seems like they lose yet another buy round after winning the pistol. The script continues 1-1 scoreline just as we saw in the first map. Airstrikers have managed to get their footing back. Stronger weaponry pushing EXO to a eco instantly after winning pistol. God's XR has pushed down. Too short. Sewers has been heard. Rotation came down instantly, but they might have realized it's a fake. Impulse ready to catch rotating players. Gets taken down while sending out his TP. An unfortunate timing out for Impulse, but HJ has snuck up onto C. Yet another timing. EXO has done beautifully catching out onto those timings. Might have had two players low, but they have the man advantage. God's XR takes down Maddie onto B. Shadow is also low, but is being covered by Snicks, who gets tapped out by God's XR.
Spike down B.
Shadow gets Rintaro,
Blocking sight.
30 seconds
but
left.
goes down to God's XR, who has 3 kills to his name by now.
One enemy remaining.
Omen in a rat spot.
Last
Could
player
not be
standing.
cleared out. A 1v1 between ZF as ZF takes down Omen. God's XR versus ZF in a 1v1 retake. Clutch situation. Spike is down. Try to shoulder peek. Get something out of God's XR, but God's XR plays it beautifully. Makes no mistakes and clutches that round for airstrikers, who have now won their buy round and taken the lead onto Haven. Both teams finally have a bye for the first time on this map.
Revealing area.
And an aggressive A push from airstrikers yet again. God's XR has taken up space onto sewers, and HJ is walking up, collecting the orb, getting his ult online outside A.
Come on, let's go!
Phoenix ult goes down. Yoru TP and Impulse gets the kill on Snicks.
Careful now.
ZF takes the Phoenix ult out, gets mollied out, has no way to escape.
Last player
Impulse
standing.
gets Maddie again, and Drago has nowhere to go. A flawless round coming out of Airstrikers. A great A execute, getting the spike down and holding the site. I think Impulse has some nasty Yoru tech up his sleeves, and we're going to see a few glimpses of that in this map. This triple duelist comp seems to be working so far for Airstrikers.
Time to jump.
Lineups coming out from Rintaro on an empty C site, but ZF
Starting move.
gets the timing on Impulse. Maddie gets HJ. Two duelists are down, but God's XR manages to take Maddie down. Shadow with the util trying to push God's XR as far as possible. They have a weaker buy, but they have the man advantage right now. ZF is looking for a timing and gets the timing. Ult down. They know exactly where the remaining two players from Airstrikers are.
Player standing.
Drago gets the Bucky
Spike
kill,
down A.
but gets instantly traded out.
Planted.
Omen gets the plant down in seconds before the ISO ult, but loses the 1v1 to Shadow,
Thrifty.
and
You think I don't know how to get by with
Exo
money?
give Airstrikers a taste of their own medicine, winning this thrifty round. Beautiful timings coming out of Exo, catching players off guard. Two duelists going down at the start of the round without Impulse and HJ. Airstrikers
Time to jump.
found it a little difficult. God's XR tried to do as much as possible for his team, but could not do enough in the end. Sixth round starting, both teams have a bye again, and Airstrikers wants to play this slow. Walking up garage, it seems like a C split. Maddie is tucked in the smoke, and ZF does not anticipate players in garage.
My ult's ready.
Drago trades out and TPs out instantly. Maddie takes HJ over in garage. Ults out at a backstab position, but hears Impulse and has to leave away. On the other hand, Omen on Airstrikers has walked up garage, spots Drago and leaves the side. Rintaro has a free C side. Impulse gets the plant down on C. It's a 3v4 situation. Exo has a man advantage on this retake, and Drago pulls out the ult. Two spots player. Ult coming out from Snicks. Rintaro gets a trade in. Omen is distracted on the side. Manages to get Maddie but EXO with their Yoru ult could do no wrong, and they equalize the score 3-3.
I don't care if there are 5 of them or 50 of them. Let's go.
It seems like Haven has started off in a similar manner as Lotus. Both teams are trying to figure out each other's playing styles, winning rounds back and forth.
Cutting through.
Score tied ahead of 7th round, 3-3, and another slow
next?
start from Strikers,
On my mark.
or it seems like now it's their turn to get the Yoru ult online. Impulse catches out Shadow with the AWP, has no option. God's XR also takes down Drago on a push out C, and the other players from Airstrikers have walked up A. Snicks gets HJ, ZF gets Omen, and now it's a 3v3. EXO managed to equalize. Maddie finds the timing on Rintaro, giving them the man advantage. God's XR planting on C, not aware that Maddie
Spike
is
planted.
very close. It's a 1v1 situation here while the other two players come out. Spotted, Paranoia out, and Maddie wins the fight. Impulse also cannot hold off the other two defenders near the spawn, and EXO get another round win. Yet another retake. It seems like EXO has finally found the timings. They are aware of the slow play from Airstrikers, and the Airstrikers will now have to switch it up if they want to win more rounds, which is what they seem to be doing with all 5 players gathered up outside of A. It seems like a hit,
Standing ahead.
dart out, does not scan anything, but Shadow gets God's XR in sewers. Manages to avoid that dart, keep that defensive AWP angle alive. Players still gathered up outside of A. A fake TP from the Omen, trying to sell a fake stays to destroy the drone. Gets spotted, but rest of the Airstrikers have moved over to Garage and C. Maddie on an off angle, a weird position to stop any push into Garage. It's going to be interesting to see. He takes HJ out on the ult, knows exactly where he is, but gets traded out instantly. Shadow misses the AWP shot, leaving the A site empty for Airstrikers to take and plant. The spike is coming down right about
10
now,
seconds left. Spike planted.
and so is the retake. Drago gets 1,
One enemy
Drago
remaining.
gets 2,
Last player standing.
Rintaro gets 3. It's a 1v1 between Rintaro and ZF.
Cage triggered.
But Rintaro is too clean for that. 4K coming out to clutch the round, getting the score line back to equal. 4-4. Airstrikers A re-hit finally worked. They lost a couple of players, but decided to go back with the Phoenix ult bringing over the rotation, leaving A side empty. And now it seems like they're going for another C split. There are
Nowhere to run!
no trips on the side yet. Maddie gets a kill into garage, gets impulse. Drago gets God's XR, but trades coming out from
Last
both
player
teams.
standing.
And Rintiro is now left in a 1v2 against Shadow and Snicks. He still has to put the spike down. Taps once. Is caught out by Snicks' Owl Drone. Players are extremely close. He does not have the space to get the spike down in time. He's trying to isolate the fights. Maybe catch Shadow off guard on garage window. But Shadow is just too patient for that. EXO win back another round. They held down C pretty well. Rintiro tried to do as much as possible, getting 3 kills on that C side, but could not convert it into a round win. A close map, much closer map than map 1 coming out from both teams. Maddie has that position yet again, but this time on Eco, it seems like airstrikers have gone to B. The spike is down. The site was taken out instantly, and now they're flooding out. Snicks gets Rintiro. Shadow gets Omen. Impulse gets Snicks. And players have flooded into site. God's XR gets one with the knife. ZF
Last
gets
player
the trade.
standing.
Impulse
One enemy remaining.
now in a 1v1 against ZF. Goes down and EXO shuts down this thrifty push on to B with enough time remaining. A 6-4 for the first time. It seems like EXO has yet again capitalized on their momentum after they lost that round
Goes here.
to airstrikers.
Yes, this should go.
And airstrikers go back to A again. Seems to be the only site that has worked for them so far.
Who's next?
Drago gets God's XR. Shadow gets HJ. Impulse has ulted into the side. Gets Snicks, but Shadow trades him out. Taken down by Omen. Drago
Portal
is the
closed.
only man on side, but ZF comes over.
One enemy remaining.
Maddie with the ult manages to take down Omen. Goes down to Rintiro in a 1v2 situation yet again, and he does not have the spike down. But this time, outside of A, he has enough time.
Give me a corpse. Where is everyone hiding?
Waited from the ult from ZF. Is gonna walk towards C. Does he come back after both pings are down? ZF
must
spots
wait a
him in garage with
30
his
seconds
cam,
left.
and he has changed directions, but he has to face a trip at B as well. EXO wasn't too far by. ZF takes him down before he
Last
can
round
even
in
get
the
the
half.
plant down.
Nothing will be saved. after
Winning
this.
3 rounds in a row, pushing Air Strikers to take their first timeout in the tournament. Well, Air Strikers finally have to figure out what is going wrong with their triple duelist comp. They have everything they need to push into the sites, but so far it seems like EXO has been holding down sites really well, taking players out even before they can execute their attack, pushed up aggressively, winning those duels, winning those first bloods, and seems like Air Strikers are failing to execute their attack strategies with men down early into the round. They might be using more utils with their
That goes there.
entries now. No more dry peaks. Pushing EXO away from those aggressive positions. HJ and God's XR pushing Garage. Impulse outside of C. Maddie is the only defender, and HJ manages to get ZF on a sneaky angle onto B. Air Strikers finally have an advantage starting their round, and they want to use it to hit C, I guess. Shots exchange outside of A long. HJ and Omen walking up. Shot. Snicks is holding that angle. Gets a tag onto HJ, who will now back off from A.
Portal closed.
Maddie holding this angle to catch any player
30
coming
seconds left.
outside of Garage. Any timing working in their favor, while Air Strikers plant the spike onto C. Maddie gets the planter and runs out of the side, but God's XR was there exactly for that, and the Sova util and Yoru ult combo.
I'm back.
One enemy
So
remaining.
yet again, Omen is the only person in a 1v3 retake. Manages to get Snicks down, but goes down to Drago. Overwhelmed by all the utility, as Strikers could not hold down the
Switching
site
sides.
with the spike down. The retake was perfect from EXO, and now they have a fabulous 8-4 lead going into the attacking side. It seems like a technical issue. One of the players have disconnected, so we'll be coming right back. Alright, seems like the tech issue is fixed and air strikers have pushed out C, an aggressive angle, but Shadow manages to catch the timing outside B. EXO pushing over to a free side with Impulse holding on to on Heaven. Spike goes down. It's a 4v5 retake for air strikers. And ZF is already on the flank. Impulse drops down, gets one, goes down to Drago. God's XR also goes down to Drago. Omen gets one, gets two, but goes down to the flank. And EXO win the pistol round, 9-4 scoreline, inching away towards victory. And if they get the second map, we will be going to a third map for the first time in FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown. This has been a very interesting game so far, with both teams putting their best foot forward, and as we go into the 14th round, air strikers are on an eco. Do they manage to get yet another thrifty after losing the pistol round, just like they did twice in the last map? Some sneaky smokes coming out. HJ trying to get his ult online. And the real action is going out here. But God's XR takes down.
Last player standing.
There's no answer that Air Strikers has to the
Spike
powerful guns and overwhelming util on EXO. HJ got Maddie, couple of tags on Shadow, but could not do enough. EXO finally wins out a buy round. After winning the pistol, the score is 10-4 with only 3 rounds away. Their first bonus in the game, and let's see if they will be able to convert that. No, HJ gets the first kill onto Snicks. Maddie TPs on top of the side, catches out HJ, trades out the kill, and they have the side to put the spike down, but they have chosen not to do yet. They want to take some more space, as it seems like they want to go over to A. God's XR holding on to that angle, gets Drago, and Shadow over there gets Impulse, who has been trying to get into B. They finally have a clear path to A as ZF takes down God XR. Three v 2. Shadow spots Rintaro, goes down to Rintaro. A 2v2. Omen takes down Maddie there, and ZF is left on his own defending the side against 2 players from EXO. Tries to avoid the util as much as possible, but cannot do enough. The drone and the dart and the paranoia was just too overwhelming for ZF. But a decent bonus round coming out of EXO, getting 3 guns down on the side of airstrikers, pushing them into a half buy with one guardian, two vandals, two guardians, two vandals. Alright. Two vandals, two bulldogs, and guardian. And they're walking out B, trying to catch any timings. Maddie sprays, but Impulse
Spike down mid.
spams through the wall to get the first kill. HJ gets the second kill. Shadow trades it out. HJ backing out after losing Impulse. Drone coming out from Snicks. EXO is already 2 men down ahead of this attack. Airstrikers took a page out of EXO's playbook, posted up on aggressive angles and took out their flares even before the execute could happen. God's XR had a shot to take down Drago in that moment, but could not capitalize on this opportunity. HJ gets his ult down. Rintaro gets a kill.
One enemy remaining.
Shadow goes down. And Drago is left in a 1v2 retake. Loses the duel out to HJ. HJ was too fast for Drago. And a perfect retake coming out of Airstrikers. They have now won 2 rounds back to back after losing the pistol and the eco. Well, if Airstrikers can find momentum and make a comeback here, it will get worrisome for EXO. EXO might need to shut this train down at any cost, but an op coming out of God's XR posted up on A long. EXO does not have a buy to
Watch your eyes!
overwhelm, but in the flash goes down HJ. Drago gets a nasty sheriff shot and they now have the side.
Spike planted.
Spike planted onto B. Post plants position set up. Maddie once again on his TP position, but does not have to worry about anything. Or maybe he does, as Rintaro and God's XR managed to take 3 players down, 4th player down, and a beautiful ace by Rintaro to close down that round and get the spike
Ace.
diffused.
You cannot escape.
EXO almost managed to shut down the momentum from Airstrikers. Their sheriff buys and aggressive B push almost worked to get them to round 11, but Rintaro was too clean on his shots, picking them off one by one, getting the ace clutch to send Airstrikers to round 7.
Who's next?
And now
Time to jump.
it seems like EXO has a free seaside. Impulse gets a few tags,
Spike planted.
but ultimately has to walk away from the site. The spike is down.
My ult's ready.
Impulse catches 2 on the side. No players from EXO are now defending the spike. They flood down the side. Snix and Shadow are the only two
You
players.
and me.
And now come the
Last player standing.
Shadow loses the duel.
Enemy remaining.
Snix gets 2. It's between God's XR and Snix. And oh my god, we have back-to-back aces from Sovas on both teams. And Snix gets an ace after EXO plants the spike on a free seaside to shut down the momentum from airstrikers.
Right here. Right here.
Maybe they do not want the comeback to happen. They want to push this game to round 3. Impulse in an aggressive position, trying to catch out a timing onto somebody from EXO. Airstrikers have walked up all the way and they managed to do that. Airstrikers get 3 kills onto unaware EXO players who had no idea what was going on. Shadow goes down and Maddie is the only player alive. Airstrikers were too fast in their aggressive push, while EXO was strategizing and trying to figure out what to do and which side to hit. Airstrikers flooded from all over, picking them apart one by one and instantly coming back on the score line. 11-8. Maybe they do want the comeback. They don't want to play the third map. I guess they're hungry for dinner and hungry for the prize money that they will get when they win the 3rd week of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown. EXO has been pushed on an eco, planning to go to C. Impulse spams a fake teleport, but utilities have stopped the players so far. Shadow gets a kill onto the Omen. Impulse
Down. C.
whips a couple of
Enemy
shots,
remaining.
but cleans up the remaining players. 4k for Impulse to
Now get.
win the 9th round for Airstrikers. They managed to hold down Seaside perfectly this time. They had better guns. They had better utility and better timings. EXO could not clear the people on site and get the spike down, losing out another round. And crucially,
Time to jump.
their money is extremely bad right now. They do not have buys, and HJ has pulled out an op. A brawl outside of C, a push onto the attacking team from the defense, and HJ gets yet another. He has Shadow's shield to deal with, but oh my
One
god,
enemy remaining.
HJ is just too clean. Impulse
Sorry.
gets
This
Maddie,
was
the
fake.
last player alive, and EXO cannot get the spike down in yet another round. A timeout from EXO. They really need to figure out how to shut down these aggressive push from the defenders. They don't even have to plant the spikes. All they do have to do is keep the sites locked down. But Airstrikers have a different plan in mind. They don't want EXO to even get to the sites. They don't want EXO to put the spike down. They want to clean up the opponent squad even before that. And it seems like Air Strikers are closing in on the lead that EXO had from a 8-4 first half to a 11 is to 10 score line. EXO has managed to get only 3 rounds in the second half, while Air Strikers have gotten 6. Money on EXO yet again is extremely poor. They are opting for an eco, and HJ has posted his op outside of garage. He might have heard the spike down on outside B. And God's XR on an off angle outside A. Impulse has walked up way too high, but loses the duel to Snicks. Rintaro, on the other hand, gets a kill on shot. Ult coming out from ZF. They know that C site is empty, but no, HJ has it locked down with his op.
No, you don't.
No shield, Shadow cannot defend from his op. Snicks is also low. Tagged out, but cannot do a lot. Rintaro goes down to ZF. Snicks pulls out his ult, and ZF stops the Omen from keeping out.
30 seconds left.
But Air Strikers have the site locked down pretty well. The spike was stuck onto C. EXO had to do something to get that spike and get it down, which they could not manage to do. The score is now tied 11-11. Both teams away, only 2 rounds away from winning this grand final, winning this map. I am sorry. EXO is 2 rounds away from pushing this to a 3rd map, and Air Strikers are 2 rounds away from winning the grand finals. It seems like there is a brawl getting ready at A.
It's you and me.
Rintaro gets 1. Oh my god. Air Strikers have locked it down. Locked the side down. And Shadow, who managed to get 1 person away from the site, also loses the 1v1 duel. This was over in the blink of an eye. A 12th round win, a match point, and a series point for Air Strikers. The best EXO can do right now is win and force this to OT, but they do not have strong guns and a op tag on Drago. Players on EXO are already very low. Shadow and Drago both extremely low. And the map has gone quiet down. Rintaro takes up the off angle. Oh no. God's XR gets both the players who were low. Almost gets Snicks as well, but Snicks manages to get the trade. And Impulse gets 2 there with an ult, takes up as much space as possible. ZF is the only player alive. HJ with the Phoenix ult closes the round, closes the series. 13-11, 2-0 win, series win for Air Strikers, who have won the 3rd week of FSN X Lidoma Valorant Showdown, winning out Lotus on a comfortable 13-6 scoreline, and then a much closer match on Haven, down 8-4 the first half. They came back, won 9 rounds, got onto momentum, and closed out the series. Impulse being the star Yoru on Haven as we predicted with his Yoru tech, with his utilities. He was getting kills everywhere. And God's XR with his beautiful pushes and amazing timings to catch out those first kills, putting him on top of the leaderboard for first bloods. Alright, thank you everybody for joining in the stream for the third week of FSN Lidoma Valorant Showdown. It was a pleasure having all of you here. A much closer match than our last 2 weeks. Closer scoreline for sure, but still we only got to see 2 maps. Let's see, let's hope that the teams coming next week will be able to give us 3 maps instead. The link to registration for the tournament is pinned in the chat. Please sign up if you are willing to play, if you want a shot at the title in our next week. We have these weekly